Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into something really fun, how to get that high-end home look, but without the high-end budget. We've got a bunch of your sources here promising great style and real savings.
Exactly. Our mission for this deep dive is basically to pull out the best bits, those really clever ideas, and maybe some surprising insights from all this material you sent on chic DIY home decor.
Yeah, the goal is to give you practical stuff, right? Strategies you can actually use to get that kind of custom, curated vibe for way less.
Because that's the main thread we saw, isn't it?
Totally. The big idea is you really don't need designer prices
Yeah.
to get designer style. We're going to unpack some clever shortcuts, smart swaps that look amazing.
Proving creativity counts for more than cash.
Right. And a lot of these are quick projects, too, like weekend stuff, perfect if you want to personalize your space, and great for renters as well. Big impact, no permanent changes.
Okay, so where do we start?
Let's kick off with something super easy, but wow, it makes a difference. Upgrading hardware.
Ah, yes. Knobs and pulls.
Exactly. Just swapping out the basic ones for something stylish, maybe gold or matte black, even acrylic ones. It instantly updates things.
Gives store-bought stuff that custom look.
It really does. It's like a mini makeover for your furniture. Think cabinets, vanities, dressers, nightstands.
Anywhere with a handle or knob, basically.
Yeah. One source mentioned upgrading an IKEA dresser. Simple brass handles, cost under $30, took less than an hour.
And people thought it was vintage.
Yeah. They kept asking where they found it. And you can find affordable packs easily. Big box stores, thrift shops.
Even places like Facebook Marketplace sometimes have really good vintage stuff.
Good point.
But it's more than just the look, isn't it? The sources hinted at this. It's the feel of the hardware, too.
Oh, interesting. Go on.
Well, that weight, you know. A solid brass pull feels different, more substantial.
Ah, right. Compared to something lightweight and maybe hollow.
Exactly. It's that tactile thing. It
Yeah.
adds to the feeling of quality, that high-end detail. It's subtle, but it matters.
That makes total sense. Okay, so sticking with big impact, minimal commitment, peel and stick wallpaper came up a lot.
Oh, yeah, that stuff's everywhere now.
It's kind of a game changer, honestly. Huge visual impact, but without the hassle of traditional wallpaper. No messy paste, no commitment.
And perfect to renters, like you said. No damage.
Totally. You can use it for accent walls, obviously, but also like lining bookcases.
Ooh, inside cabinets, too.
Yes. Or updating a tired kitchen backsplash, even on furniture or stair risers.
And the styles are endless. Faux marble, florals, geometrics.
One example was lining a plain bathroom cabinet inside with a gold geometric pattern. Instantly looked custom.
Nice little surprise when you open it.
Right. And you can even design your own patterns on sites like Spoonflower if you want something totally unique.
Which really taps into that desire for, making a statement without getting overwhelmed by a huge project. It feels achievable.
But you mentioned Spoonflower. Is the quality of peel and stick pretty consistent? Or are some better than others for that luxe feel?
That's a good question. The sources seem to suggest the thicker vinyls, or the ones with a sort of a fabric backing. They tend to feel more substantial.
Okay, so they hide bumps on the wall better, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. And they just have a bit more texture, a more high-end feel than the really thin, plasticky ones. Worth looking for those if you want that truly luxe finish.
Gotcha. Okay, let's shift to textiles. Throw pillows.
The jewelry for your furniture, you called them?
Yeah. The key here, according to the sources, is texture. Think velvet, linen, maybe faux fur.
Things that feel luxurious to touch.
Right. That's what lifts them beyond basic. And you can customize them easily. Iron-on designs, tassels, trim.
Even if you can't sew.
Oh, yeah, totally. Fabric glue, iron-on hem tape, loads of no-sew options. One tip was just adding trim or tassels to plain pillows. Takes like 15 minutes.
And suddenly they look like you bought them at a boutique.
Exactly. And for budget options, fabric remnants work great. Or even repurposing things like vintage scarves, pretty tea towels.
Get creative with the fabric source.
Yeah. The main thing is mixing textures and keeping the colors complementary for that cohesive look.
And pillows are such a great way to experiment, aren't they? Low stakes.
Definitely.
You can swap them out easily. And it's often that aha moment, like you add the right pillows and suddenly the whole room feels more pulled together. More expensive, even?
It's the layering, I think.
It is. And it's not just what fabrics, but the contrast. Like rough linen next to smooth velvet. That creates depth. Makes it feel richer, more designed.
Okay, let's talk structure. Adding architectural details with decorative molding or trim.
Ah, the custom home look.
Right. Those details just make a room feel finished, intentional.
Mm-hmm.
But the hack is using stick-on trim.
No carpentry skills needed.
None. You can create faux wainscoting, that paneled look on the lower wall,
Classic look adds character.
instantly. Or picture frame molding on walls.
Yeah.
Even just adding detail to plain doors. One source mentioned doing a whole grid pattern on living room walls with adhesive trim.
And then tainted it all one color.
Yep. Made it look totally seamless. Friends thought it was original to the house.
That's clever. And reversible for renters, too, presumably.
Exactly. You can also add thin trim to basic shelves or dressers to give them that custom cabinetry vibe. Just paint the trim the same color as the surface.
Yeah, that seamless look is key. It really taps into that desire for subtle sophistication, doesn't it? Makes a space feel properly designed, not just decorated. It makes you wonder how much of perceived value is just down to these small, thoughtful touches, not the actual cost. But can it go wrong? Can fake molding sometimes just look cheap?
That's a fair point. The sources do kind of caution against going overboard or using a style that clashes badly with your furniture.
Right, like putting ornate Victorian trim in a super minimalist modern space. Yeah.
Exactly. Subtlety is probably key. Simpler, cleaner lines are often a safer bet if you're not sure.
Good advice.
Okay, next up, mirrors. The interior designer's secret weapon, apparently.
Ah, yes, the space expanders.
They do double duty, right? Decorative element. But they also make rooms feel bigger and brighter, especially small rooms or ones with high ceilings.
Bounce the light around.
Yep. The sources suggest hunting for vintage mirrors in thrift stores. You can often find amazing shapes.
And then just repaint the frame.
Exactly. Give it a glam finish. There was a great story about finding an ornate mirror for $15, painting the frame matte black.
Instant entryway statement piece.
Totally. Placement is crucial, though. Hang them opposite windows to reflect light, maybe reflect some greenery or artwork.
Or use tall, skinny ones to make the ceiling feel higher.
Good tip. Or clustering a few mismatched ones can look cool, too, like a gallery wall effect.
It's really about thinking strategically, isn't it? Using the mirror not just as decoration, but as a tool.
A tool to manipulate space and light.
Yeah. And you mentioned glam finish. Some sources also hinted at looking for mirrors with beveled edges or maybe that slightly antique-looking glass.
Oh, right, yeah.
Those little details can make even a simple thrifted mirror seem much more luxurious. Adds another layer.
Absolutely. Okay, building on that idea of intentional styling, let's talk trays and vignettes.
Ah, corralling the clutter.
Exactly. A tray just makes random stuff look intentional, curated. It's the difference between clutter and styling.
Creates those little magazine moments.
You can create these vignettes, these little curated groups of objects on consoles, nightstands, vanities.
Telling a little story with objects.
Right. Mix up materials, marble, gold, wood, acrylic. Keep it fresh with seasonal bits.
Yeah.
And the budget hack.
Paint a cheap wooden tray.
Yep. Or line it with marble contact paper. Super easy upgrade. One example was spray painting a basic tray gold and adding little furniture feet. Looked expensive, cost under $20.
Nice. And the styling trick. Rule of odds.
Rule of odds. Groups of 3 or 5 tend to look best. And vary the heights. Tall, medium, low. Creates visual interest.
It connects back to that idea of storytelling, doesn't it? These little arrangements make a space feel lived in, personal.
Definitely.
It shows thought, guides your eye through the room. It's not just stuff on a table. It's considered.
Okay, next big one. Refreshing old furniture with paint.
Ah, the power of paint. One of the biggest transformations.
Seriously. Turns garage sale finds into statement pieces. Hides flaws. Adds style.
And lots of paint types now. Chalk paint for that vintage vibe.
Yeah, or high gloss for something more modern and glam. Sticking to classic neutrals, black, white, navy, taupe, is often a safe bet for a timeless look.
Keeps it looking high-end.
There was a great anecdote about a dated pine dresser. Painted deep navy with chalk paint, added brass hardware.
Total transformation.
Completely changed the feel of the room. Cost under $50.
Amazing. And it's not just paint, right? Other small furniture tweaks.
Good point. Swapping out legs on tables or sofas can make a huge difference. Adding edge trim for a bit more detail.
Or painting the inside of a bookcase.
Yes. A contrasting color inside adds depth. Looks really designer. Just remember to seal it properly for durability.
Furniture painting really highlights that idea that potential value is way more than initial cost, doesn't it? It challenges what we think makes something expensive. Creativity and effort can make something look luxurious. But what's the secret to getting that really professional paint finish? the thing DIYers often miss.
Ah, okay, yes. The
Yeah.
source has hammered this home. It's the prep work.
Knew it. Sanding and cleaning.
Thorough cleaning, degreasing, light sanding, especially on shiny or laminate surfaces. That's what makes the paint stick properly and gives you that smooth, durable, professional look. Not rushing the prep.
Crucial. Okay, last big area.
Lighting. Often overlooked, but wow, it impacts mood, function, everything.
Changes the whole feel of a space.
Absolutely. So swap out those builder basic fixtures, find something stylish, thrifted, or new.
And for renters,
Loads of options. Battery-operated sconces, seriously, no wiring.
those are brilliant.
And plug-in pendants are great for spotlighting areas. Adding dimmer switches is huge, too. Creates that cozy, luxe vibe.
Instant mood control.
You can even use those little puck lights inside bookcases or under cabinets. Again, no wiring needed. And don't forget lampshades. Changing a shade can totally transform a lamp. Think pleated shades, linen, textured ones.
Adds softness and changes the light quality.
Exactly.
You know, lighting is so much about controlling the experience of the space, not just making it bright enough to see.
That's a great way to put it.
It makes you ask, how can you use light to tell the story of your home? Why don't people focus on it more? The sources hint at this idea of layered lighting, combining different types: ambient light for overall illumination, task light for specific activities, accent light to highlight features.
So not just relying on one overhead light.
Exactly. That layering creates depth, warmth. It's a core design principle that really elevates a space.
Okay, so as we wrap this up, think about the cumulative effect, right? All these small, thoughtful DIY upgrades add up. Each little project contributes to this overall feeling of a space that's custom, intentional, personal. That Insta-worthy feel, maybe.
Yeah, and it's important to remember stylish homes usually aren't done overnight. They evolve.
Good point. It's okay to mix high and low.
Absolutely. Start small. Build your confidence. Maybe just change some hardware, style a tray. Remember, your DIY projects add these unique chapters to your home's story.
Sets it apart from the mass-produced look.
Exactly. It's that blend, the thrifted find, the clever DIY, the intentional styling that makes it feel truly special and, yes, expensive, even if it wasn't.
So the final thought to leave you with is this. If your home tells a story, what new chapters are you going to add?
And what will they say about your style, your journey?
Think about the power of your own creativity to shape the space you live in.